ગુડ આફ્ટરનૂન અપૂર્વભાઈ, થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ કે તમે ટાઈમ કાઢ્યો આ તમારા છોકરાઓમાંથી અમારી સાથે વાત કરવામાં.
Oh, thank you so much, Purvishbhai. In fact, it is my pleasure કે તમે તમારા શેડ્યુલમાંથી ઇનફેક્ટ મને આ લાયક સમજો કે તમારી જોડે હું મારા બી એક્સપિરિયન્સ શેર કરી શકું.
શું વાત
ઇનફેક્ટ ના એવું નથી. whenever we were meeting, we were always discussing about the cases and the court matters.
બરાબર.
આ પહેલી વખત એવું એક્સપિરિયન્સ છે કે જે વખતે આપણે અપાર્ટ ફ્રોમ આપણી પ્રોફેશનલ લાઈફ સિવાય બીજું ઘણું બધી વસ્તુ ડિસ્કસ
કરીશું. બરાબર છે. ના, અને એકબીજાને જાણવાનું, મને ઉલટાનું ઘણો જાણવા, લોકોને ઓળખવાનો ઘણો ચાન્સ મળ્યો આના કારણે.
એબ્સોલ્યુટલી કરેક્ટ. અને આવો કદાચ આ લોકડાઉનના ટાઈમે આજે ટાઈમ મળેલો છે એ પોસિબલી ખબર નહીં હવે કદાચ બધાની પાસે હવે ફરીવાર ક્યારે આવશે કે નહીં આવે.
હવે નહીં આવે. લાઈફમાં એક જ વખત, આપણા લાઈફમાં નહીં, આપણા છોકરાઓના લાઈફમાં ક્યારેય આવો ટાઈમ નહીં આવે.
ઇનફેક્ટ આઈ હેવ હર્ડ કે મારા ફાધરના લાઈફમાં બી ક્યારે આવો ટાઈમ નથી આવ્યો કે જે વખતે every family member of yours is with you
completely. અને એ પણ નોન સ્ટોપ, કન્ટિન્યુઅસલી ક્યાંય બહાર ગયા વગર એક જ ઘરમાં કમ્પલસરીલી બધા રહેવાનું, સાથે ટાઈમ
રહેવાનું.
નતર કોક ને કોક કંઈક કામે બહાર જતું હોય, કોઈક કામે અંદર આવતું હોય, આવો કોઈ સ્કોપ જ નથી અત્યારે. બધા એક સાથે જ રહેવું.
એબ્સોલ્યુટલી કરેક્ટ. અને I'll tell you one more thing. Nowadays, of course, my parents, they are residing at Khambat. But since my father is now having a lot of time, at least every morning and evening, he makes sure that he calls on WhatsApp and he sees both the grandchildren. અને બંને જણા they are also waiting for them કે ક્યારે દાદા આવશે ને એમની જોડે વાત કરીશું. So this is also a very nice experience.
Right, sir. આપણા internal attachments ઘણા વધ્યા છે આના કારણે.
વધી જશે. Because my father is also practicing advocate. So કદાચ એમના daily routine માંથી એમને every day આવો time કાઢો, it was quite difficult because the time was something else. Father જ્યારે free હોય ત્યારે કદાચ છોકરાઓ સુઈ ગયા હોય. પણ આ વખત એવું થયું છે કે ઇનફેક્ટ they are also very keen કે ગમે તેમ કરીને ટાઈમ કાઢી અને આ બંને જણા જોડે વાત કરીએ.
ઓન ધી કોન્ટ્રારી અપૂર્વભાઈ, મારું એક ગ્રુપ છે યુએસમાં, એડવોકેટ ફ્રેન્ડ્સના ગ્રુપ છે. ઇનફેક્ટ હું એ લોકો સાથે વાત કરતો હતો. દે આર મેજરલી ડીલિંગ વિથ ફેમિલી મેટર્સ. તો ધે પીપલ આર એકચ્યુઅલી ચીયરિંગ કે યુએસના લોકોને સાથે રહેવાની કોઈ દિવસ આદત નહોતી ને હવે જો તમે એને આટલું સાથે રાખશો ને તો ધેર વિલ બી ડિસ્પ્યુટ ગોઈંગ ટુ હેપન. એટલે એ લોકો બહુ ખુશ છે કે અમને લિટિગેશન મળવાના બહુ સ્કોપ વધ્યા છે અત્યારે. દે આર એકચ્યુઅલી ચીયરિંગ. યુએસ ના સાથે હસબન્ડ વાઇફ જો 3 દિવસ સાથે રહી લે તો ચોથા દિવસે ડાયવોર્સ હોય. એટલે આપણે ઘણા વ્યવસ્થિત સેટલડ લોકો છે એ રીતે.
આપણી માટે એક તમે તો યુ આર મોર અવેર. લવર્સ માટે ટાઈમ કાઢવો, running in the early morning and then coming, almost 9:30, and when you are at home, you are also tired, kids are also tired. And then spending time with the kids was really a difficult task. Of course, everybody tries their level best to do that. પણ આ જે ટાઈમ મળ્યો છે ને એ કદાચ મારા ખ્યાલથી it's a golden period for every parent who are having a small kids.
Very true, sir. Very true. અને બોન્ડેજ વધ્યું છે એનાથી.
બોન્ડેજ વધ્યું છે. એબ્સોલ્યુટલી બોન્ડેજ વધ્યું છે.
અપૂર્વભાઈ, તમારા નાનપણના દિવસો કેવા હતા? શું કેવા દિવસ હતા તે વખતે?
Honestly speaking, હું તમને કહું કે બાળપણના દિવસો I can divide it into 3 parts. The major portion, I would say up to standard 10th, I was staying at Khambat. My parents are stationed there. એ પછીનો મારો 11th and 12th, I was in Ahmedabad. And then obviously you know that you and me both were in at Pune, pursuing our graduation.
Right, sir. સોરી અપૂર્વભાઈ, કંઈક કનેક્શનનો પ્રોબ્લેમ હતો. તમે કંઈક પુનાની વાત કરતા હતા કે આપ ગ્રેજ્યુએટ પુનાથી.
હા. Then after completing my 12th, I had shifted to Pune in 2000. From 2000 to 2005, I was in Pune. Of course, I know that you passed out in 2003, possibly from Symbiosis.
Right, sir. That is true.
But these are the basically 3, you can say that there are 3 parts of my childhood. The first part of staying with the parents till standard 10th. Thereafter 11th and 12th in the hostel in Ahmedabad. and then 2000 to 2005 in at Pune. But I would say that the first part જે parents જોડે રહ્યા હતા childhood એક ગામ નાના ગામમાં where the population is hardly about 40,000 and odd city population. Of course, if you calculate the entire taluka, it would come to around 75-80,000.
Right.
But I was born and brought up in the small town at Khambat. Khambat is basically situated in the Anand district.
Right.
એક વખત એવું કહેવાતું હતું કે ખંભાત was considered to be a very thickly, a place where people used to get an opportunity of a huge journey because એ વખતે port હતું ત્યાં આગળ. But over a period of time it just stopped. And thereafter people started moving out of Khambat, of course for their education and also for their earning the livelihood. But maru initial childhood days was in Khambat up to 10th standard. I was born in a family of a lawyer. My grandfather was a lawyer. My father is a lawyer who is practicing in Khambat and Anand. And one more thing, possibly, I don't know you whether you are aware or not. My grandfather's real brother, he happened to be the retired High Court judge. He is now no more. If you have heard about his name, late Justice B.S. Kapadia. He was High Court judge from 84 to 1992. So, initial days 10th in Khambat, then 11th and 12th at Ahmedabad. I'll tell you one more interesting thing. Though I was surrounded by the lawyers, my uncle is also a lawyer who is practicing on the taxation side in Khambat only. But I'll tell you one more interesting thing. Though I was surrounded by the atmosphere of the lawyers around the house,
right.
But lawyer was never my first to become a lawyer. Was never my first choice. In fact, I had never thought of becoming a lawyer.
Sure.
When I moved out of Ahmedabad, there was nothing in my mind. At least not to become a lawyer I was quite sure that I don't want to become a lawyer. It was a dream of my brother, my cousin, my elder brother Devesh. It was his dream that he is 13 years elder to me. But he believed that this generation, because he and me, these were the both son who were there in the family. Since he could not become the lawyer, he thought of it that at least Apurva should become a lawyer. So that is how he convinced my father.
Oh, wow.
He said to my father that let it be whatever. I mean, my father was under a situation that because there were so many family members, the earning was quite less in Khambat.
Right.
The scope was quite less.
Right.
So he decided that let us move out of Khambat at least, and then we decide let Apurva be sent into this field. My father was quite sure that I don't wish to leave Khambat, because the entire family was there, and he already had his entire life in Khambat. So he eventually said that you see to it that he moves out of Khambat and let him settle at Ahmedabad. So then we met our grand uncle, late Justice B.S. Kapadia. He said that you nowadays, because at that point of time in 2000, this 5 years of law course was not that much popular.
It wasn't there.
In fact, there was no yes, exactly. So then he said that why don't you go to either Maharashtra or Karnataka? There are good colleges. So then me and my brother Devesh, initially first we went to Mumbai. Mumbai we had gone to the government law college, and then unfortunately I could not secure the admission, and then we went to Pune, and I was fortunate enough to get the admission in ILS.
But way ahead, and after GLC I went to ILS. I didn't get there, and then I went to Symbiosis, secured there.
And then secured.
So that's why I was.
In fact, okay. In fact, it was pure. At that point of time, ILS was giving the admission purely on the percentage basis. So I could get it. Had it been nowadays, I would not have got it.
No. Even today also, it is on percentile basis. They don't have the entrance, I suppose.
ILS but now they have. What I've heard is that ILS now have a different type of quotas. Like if you are coming from out of Maharashtra, then your merit list would be different. Then you have to fall in that merit list, and then when I took the admission in ILS, at that point of time, the common merit list was prepared. Because I know that
98 Vapur, when I went, I have been told that if I had been from Maharashtra, if I can show domicile of Maharashtra, then I would be able to get admission on the merits that is prepared for Maharashtra. But since I'm not domicile of Maharashtra, I would not be able to get that. So that's why I think in 98 it was the same situation then as well. It might be because your percentile would be higher, you might have got it on the common merit list.
No, I don't think so, because I was never informed about it that there are separate merit lists for the.
What was your percentile, sir, in 12th?
Possibly in 12th, I guess I was 78, 79.
Right, I was under 60. Therefore, that quota.
In fact, since you talked about childhood days, please don't take it otherwise. No. I was a meritorious student.
No, I wasn't. I was throughout
There was huge expectation from the parents from me, because I was scoring a good in earlier days. Of course, that has stopped after joining the ILS because the issue got completely diverted.
Right.
We always used to attend the colleges and classes only last 3 months. Those initial days, starting from possibly from May, June till December, January, we and all my friends have enjoyed the college life.
Right, sir.
And it is only in January we started taking these studies seriously. And again, the biggest mistake that I've did it in college days was reading that notes of Pathan. Entire subject used to be finished in 60 days. 60 pages, sorry.
60 pages, 16 pages.
Yes, 60 pages.
Right, sir.
And surprisingly, everyone could secure the marks only from reading that. Those who were reading the books could not secure good marks. I don't know what was the reason for it, but...
Sir, I'm your senior, your ILS senior one, Bumba. He is from Patna.
Yes.
He actually cited Pathan before the Patna High Court. And he proudly did that. Bumba, if you can recollect him, he was from Patna.
Yes, I know him.
Yes,
I've heard.
And he actually cited this Pathan in Patna High Court. And he successfully got some order. That is what his was Facebook update in somewhere in 2004, 2005.
Pathan should have been very proud of it then.
You ought to have been proud of it. Proud of the situation. What Mumbai did. Really.
Provided Pathan would have been knowing about it.
Of course he would.
No, what I used to do it. My graduation is till 12th standard. I was throughout a Gujarati medium student. It was quite difficult for a student who is completely studied from Gujarati medium and then switching over to the English medium.
Right, sir.
I used to keep a dictionary, Gujarati dictionary. Whenever word used to come, I used to check out the spelling and write it in Gujarati.
Right.
So first year of the law graduation was really tough for me.
Right.
I could not understand what the professors were teaching, because that flow of giving the lectures, I could not adopt it.
Right. And
it was really a frustrating time, initial six months for me.
No, very true. And ILS lecturers were far ahead in teaching and far better than teaching than what we actually had in our colleges.
And you must be knowing about Professor Deshpande.
Deshmukh, sir.
Deshmukh, I'm sorry. Deshmukh.
He expired, you know that? He expired.
Yeah, he passed away. He passed away, I know. But he was a very fast, completely ratta on CRPC.
Very true. And IPC both.
And IPC both. And these are the professors. And you would be knowing that ILS had a very good visiting faculty of lawyers.
Very true.
Shrikant Sivde regularly used to visit the college.
Yes. He was that importance of him, of giving the lectures, I could only understand in the 5th year. Right. That he is such a good lawyer. Yeah. He was DGP Pune then.
He was DGP Pune then, right.
Shrikant Sivde was DGP Pune then. District Government Leader.
District Government Leader, yes.
And Deshmukh sir's lectures are now available on YouTube, complete series. If anyone want to...
Yes.
that is available, so student can actually.
But Purush bhai, that honestly speaking, what we have been taught in the college and what we have been experiencing in the courts are completely different.
You are right. You are absolutely right. And as far as CRPC and IPC is concerned, what has been taught and what actually we apply, what actually we follow would be completely different. You are absolutely right.
Completely. And you are more aware than me that every judge, be it High Court or a Supreme Court judge, they have a different style of reading the matter. Correct. They have different style of reading the papers. So no, for basic understanding, the lectures are quite good. But when you come to actual field, it is quite, it's a seesaw change that I have seen.
Right, sir. Papur bhai, can you tell me, what do you carry along till in your studies? I mean, in your profession till now, from what you have studied, because you say that what you study was completely different than what you apply. So, what actually you carry along from your college till now?
What I carry is that the professors, those who have taught us, as I said earlier, that there were visiting faculties of very good lawyers. Those professors always used to tell us that what we are teaching is the basic principles. These are the basic principles of law. You are always going to be confronted with the different facts because each and every case will have a different facts. Then you apply the analogy of what we are teaching you. Because whenever a professor who is teaching you, and more so when he's an advocate or he or she is an advocate, the practical knowledge will always be there.
Very true.
In his lecture. The gentleman who is teaching you who is giving you the lecture, and more so when he's an advocate, he will always try to teach you about the court lessons also. And then you apply the analogy there.
Very true.
So I firmly believe that what I've carried from my college days, from those professors, are always that whenever you are going to a court, it is always not necessary that the questions will come from the book. It is are always going to come out of the context. Right. For that, you have to be ready. There, no studies will teach you about it. Right. It is only when you experience it. For proper understanding of a law, when you actually confront it before the court of law, therefore your understanding, it's correct. To be something different.
Right, sir. Sir, how were you as a law student? Were you seriously studying these subjects, or you took the education of law as in a casual manner?
I was a serious. Moment I was convinced by my brother and my late uncle Justice Kapadia that now we are pursuing a law, and coming from a family of a lawyer, I was always serious about it. But whenever I have joined the college, I have always taken part in the moot courts. I have always taken parts in the extracurricular activities which are going on in the ILS, and proudly I can say that I was not possibly at that point of time it was a yearly system. Possibly in 2 or 3 years I could secure a first class. So I have never taken law as just to get a degree.
Right.
I was always serious. And one more example I'll tell you. In the 5th year, the placement in the colleges. In fact, many of my friends had applied for the same. I was also one of them who had applied it. I got selected by ICICI Bank. I was given a placement at Bombay. Of course, the pay scale was somewhat around 10,000 at that point of time.
Very true.
When I got that, are you really interested in practicing, or you just want a corporate job? So I said that let me try it for a year or two, and then I can come to the litigation field.
Right.
But then again, my father told me that don't take it as a chance. If you really want to come to the litigation, don't even need to spend even a day in the corporate field.
Right.
And then I decided that when I have a family background, the litigation, I dropped the idea. And in fact, I said no to the ICICI that I'm sorry, I really cannot join this. And that is how
jumped in.
I taken this profession. Yes.
Sir, whom you have started your practice with? Who was your senior?
You must be knowing about it. I started the office of senior advocate Mr. Yatin Oza, current president of the Gujarat High Court Advocates Association.
Right.
Even that story is quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
After completing 5th year, I came back somewhere in the month of April. April again, my brother and me, we had gone to meet Justice Kapadia, late Justice Kapadia. My grand uncle, Justice Kapadia, he was in the office of late Sri N.R. Oza. That the amount of experience and the learning will experience, you will never get it in any other.
Sorry અપૂર્વભાઈ, પેલું કંઈક નેટવર્કમાં ઇશ્યુઝ હતો, અમને ફરીથી કહેશો આપ કેવી રીતે યતિનભાઈ સાહેબની ઓફિસ જોઈન કરી?
હા, as I told you, after completing a 5th year in April 2005, I came back to Ahmedabad. My brother and me went to the office. I went to meet late Justice Kapadia, my great grandfather. We met him. He said that when I was a young student and when I finished my law graduation, I joined the office of father of Mr. Yatin Oza, late Mr. N.R. Oza. And he said that whatever I have learned from his office, I vouch you that you will never going to learn from any other office.
Correct.
And that was the reason I was put before Mr. Yatin Oza. He called Yatin Bhai. He said that my grandson, he wants to join his office. He joined your office. Immediately, obviously, when a call is going from a retired High Court judge, no advocate generally would say no to it.
Right.
Then he said that you send him to my office. And then I was possibly in May 2005. First time I met Yatin Bhai. And then I joined his office. At that point of time, my graduation degree had not come. So I was a law student. We both have briefed him many matters. Whenever he has to come to Delhi.
Right.
And whenever you are in Ahmedabad, you have also briefed him.
Right.
So I was really, really so fortunate that I had worked with him for almost 10 years. The super thing about Mr. Yatin Oza is that he considers every one of his juniors as his family member.
Very true.
And that is why we have cultivated the habit of calling him Bhai.
Very true.
And Purvish Bhai, I'm really, really vouching for it. That whatever I have gained in last 10 years, whenever I was with him, whatever I have learned from him, is solely because of him. And more so, you and me both have experienced that he doesn't read the matters. It is you who will have to be prepared 100%.
Very true.
We have when I joined the office in 2005, there are seniors like Saurabh Mehta, Sonal Shah, Mr. B.P. Gupta. I had seen him briefing Yatin Bhai. Yatin Bhai always used to tell that you just tell what is there in the matter. No, they always used to try that you read something. But then sooner I realized that it is his, I would say a God gift, that whatever he heard or whatever the conversation that took place between the two lawyers, he used to flawlessly put it before the court and got the orders. So that is the best part of Mr. Yatin Oza.
Yes.
You and me have briefed so many seniors, but honestly speaking, the amount of experience, the amount of knowledge of briefing Mr. Oza is something which is very unique.
Very true. And his confidence before the court, his confidence before the court, putting any facts in.
And he always used to tell us that the best of a lawyer would only come out when the judge is against him.
Right, sir.
So that is how he used to prepare us.
Very true. Very true.
And we can't, you can't take him, lightly, that you just briefing on the facts and don't tell him about the law.
Correct.
The next question he would come about the subject on the law.
Judgment.
He immediately would ask judgments. You'll have to tell him at least 5 to 7 authorities on it.
Right.
One authority, he was never satisfied. That is what I've experienced.
Correct.
And that is the best part of Yatin Bhai's office. There is one more thing I'll tell you about it. From 2005 till I got married in 2008, I had experienced that I was getting a matter. There are other seniors who were also getting the matters in the office. We in the Yatin Bhai's office, we had a system that Yatin Bhai never used to directly encounter with the clients. Whatever the clients used to come in the name of Yatin Bhai, Yatin Bhai always used to send it to the juniors. The juniors will take the instructions, and then the client and the advocate will brief Yatin Bhai, so that the advocate can also get prepared how to take the instructions, how to discuss the fees, about the Yatin Bhai's fees and the advocate on record fees. Yatin Bhai's practice right from the first day when I joined was that whenever a matter is allotted to a junior, he used to see that the junior gets something in it, apart from the stipend which he used to give. I'm really sorry, but I'll tell you one thing. That when I started the office, I was paid the stipend of rupees 1700. So that was my initial stipend which Yatin Bhai used to give me.
How much?
1700.
Wow.
In 2005.
Correct.
But that is not enough, I'll tell you.
Yes, you are right.
He used to see.
Not enough.
He used to see that a matter is being allotted to a junior. And at least 5,000 a junior used to get from it. So that was the great thing which Yatin Bhai has done to all the juniors.
Right.
Whoever joined his offices, every junior used to get it. And slowly and gradually I realized one thing. In 2008, I got married. He realized that now there will be a need of more money to a junior because now he is married. He is starting his own life. Then he has started giving more matters to him. And same with every junior. Eventually, the seniors who were there along with me, those seniors become independent. So that was also one of the things where I used to get the matters. But more so, when I realized that I am getting matters because Yatin Bhai realized that now this junior is having a more responsibility. And that is why I should give him more the matters.
Right.
So that was the great thing which I realized after I got married. And after having realized that Yatin Bhai is actually taking care of me as his family member. And that is an achievement, or rather you say that that is the blessing of him on me. That is the, I'm falling short of words for it. That is a great thing about it.
It cannot be expressed. Your expression, even whatever you want to say cannot be expressed. It can be understood.
So that's it.
મને હવે આ વાતમાં એક જાણવાની ઈચ્છા થઈ કે તમે એમને યતીનભાઈને મળ્યા. How was that experience? પહેલી વાર યતીનભાઈને મળવાનું કે શું કર્યું, શું વાત થઈ, તમને સાંભળવાની વધારે ગમશે.
I still recollect it.
મને ખબર એ વાત નહીં ભૂલે, કારણ કે મને યાદ છે. હું યતીનભાઈ ઘણા બધા પહેલી વાર મળ્યો છું, પણ યતીનભાઈ પહેલી વાર મળ્યો છું મને હજી યાદ છે. એટલે
I'll tell you one thing. જ્યારે ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ મળવા ગયો ને, એમને કદાચ એ વખતે આપણા ગુજરાત હાઈકોર્ટ એડવોકેટ એસોસિએશનનું ઇલેક્શન હતું. ઇલેક્શનના દિવસે હું સાજનને મળવા ગયો હતો ઓફિસે. એ વખતે ઓબ્વિયસલી ઓફિસમાં એ વખતે એમણે કદાચ શેઠા સાહેબને કદાચ એમણે ઇલેક્શનમાં કદાચ હરાવ્યા હતા. in 2005, if I'm not wrong. એ વખતે તો એ દિવસે મને મળ્યા નહીં કારણ કે so many lawyers and every family members were there. બીજે દિવસે સવારે એમણે મને 10 વાગે મને એમની ઓફિસે બોલાવ્યો હતો. હું 10 વાગે એમની ઓફિસે મળવા ગયો એમને. When he entered the office, no, you must have experienced કે આ કંઈક અલગ ટાઈપના સિનિયર છે યાર. ખબર નહીં એમનો કેરિસ્મેટિક શું હતું કે સડનલી કોલ્ડ મે કે બંસી કાકાએ તને મોકલ્યો છે. એટલે I said yes, come to my chamber. ચેમ્બરમાં ગયા એટલે then he asked me about મારા કોલેજ વિશે પૂછ્યું કે તું ક્યાંથી પાસ આઉટ થયો હતો. I said from ILS. Oh, ILS. Justice Chandrachud was also a trustee of the college. I was surprised that a senior advocate having such a huge standing is knowing about a college stationed at Pune, and some of the trustees are also being known to him.
Right.
And then the style of his talking, no, something. I mean, that experience is something else. Then he said that, what do you know about law? કે મારી ઓફિસમાં તારે કામ કરવું હોય, you have to work at least for 12 hours. I said I'm ready. No, એટલે કે રેડી કહેવાથી કઈ નથી થતું. એટલે 12 કલાક તમે બુકમાં નાખીને રહેવાથી એ રેડી ના થાય. અને એ વખતે મને એવું બી કીધું તેમણે કે તું બંસી કાકાને ત્યાંથી આવ્યો છે એટલે તું એવું ના સમજતો કે નો એવરીથિંગ ઇઝ ગોઈંગ ટુ બી સ્વીટ ટુ યુ.
વોકિંગ છે.
કે તને તું જે કહી છે બધું મળી જશે, કે રાધર મળી જશે ઇન ધ સેન્સ ધેટ કોઈ તને કશું કહેવામાં નહીં આવે. ડોન્ટ બી અંડર ધેટ ઇમ્પ્રેશન. I said I never want to be under that impression that I've been recommended by Bunsi Kaka. Then no, I was initially I was sitting with Saurabh Mehta. For 2 years I was sitting with him. Then I got my independent chamber. 1.5 year. Then I got my independent chamber. I was allotted independent matters. एक interesting matter. There are so many interesting matters. પણ એક interesting matter જેના વિશે હું પુરુષ સાહેબને ચોક્કસ કહેવા માંગે છું.
કયો
ડિમોલિશનની એક મેટર હતી. એ વખતે ડિમોલિશન 2006માં એ વખતે જતું હતું જસ્ટિસ બીજે શેઠના અને જસ્ટિસ MC પટેલ પાસે. ખરાબ મેટરની અંદર યતીનભાઈએ સ્ટે લીધેલો હતો. અલ્ટિમેટલી આફ્ટર અ પ્રોલોંગ એડજમેન્ટ, finally in 2007 or early 2008, corporationના senior advocate આપણા શરદ સાહેબ, former advocate general, he insisted કે સાહેબ આમાં સ્ટે લઈને બેઠા છે અને the entire town planning scheme has come to a halt. The scheme has been final and as per the settled law, this demolition will have to be taken place because this land is required for the purpose of widening of the road. Somehow or the other, we could not get out of the matter and the matter got stuck before the division bench. The arguments continuously went on for an entire day. એ વખતે I am still remembering that day because I cried on that day. He used to scold me like anything like anything, that you are not prepared on this, you are not prepared on that, you have not brought this, you have not brought this. Later on, ચાલુ મેટર એમણે મને એક શબ્દ કીધો હતો. I still remember that word. કે આ ભીતમાં બુદ્ધિ આવશે તારામાં નહીં આવે. અને consider this as your last matter in my office. આ ભીતમાં બુદ્ધિ આવશે પણ તારામાં નહીં આવે. And consider this as your last matter. I was so upset. I came back to the office after ultimately the court dismissed the writ petition. I came back to the office. I cried. મને એ વખતે ગુપ્તા સાહેબે કીધું હતું કે અપૂર્વ, અમે આ બધું સાંભળી ચૂક્યા છે, ડોન્ટ ટેક ઇટ અધરવાઇઝ. યતીનભાઈના દિમાગમાં આવું ક્યારે પણ નથી હોતું. એ વખતે ગુસ્સામાં તને કહી દીધું હશે. અને પૂર્વિશભાઈ, યુ વિલ બી સરપ્રાઇઝ ટુ નો ધેટ in 1 hour I was called by him in his chamber and I was given a new matter on that very day. So this is his greatness.
True.
After being told you in uncertain words that a ભીતમાં બુદ્ધિ આવશે તારામાં નહીં આવે, And this is considered this your last matter in my office. On that very day, you have been allotted a new matter. So this is what Yatin Bhai is all about.
No. That is why we all love him. Actually, we all love him. He is the most lovable person of our Gujarat, no doubt about it, because of his attitude.
And apart from my experience, because obviously I was in office for 10 years, the lawyers, of course, of our age, they always used to tell me that it is always Yatin Bhai to whom they can approach it freely.
Very true.
Despite he being a senior advocate, he doesn't treat anyone that he is a senior.
Very true.
You can go to him with your problem, and he'll be always be there. And that you have experienced. I have experienced many lawyers of our age.
And I may tell you, sir.
And 10 years in his office. 10 years in his office. For the first time, I had seen the Supreme Court. It is because of him only.
Very true.
An office matter given to a junior of 2 years old in the profession. Possibly only Yatin Bhai can do it. I don't know. I mean, any other senior has done it in their life or not. Right. But I was fortunate enough to get a matter of the Supreme Court, and that too a briefing a senior advocate like Shyam Diwan at that point of time in 2006 in the office matter. Rarely you'll get such a chance. In such offices. That is one of the matter. Thereafter, I have briefed almost every senior. You are also a part of the team of the one matter which we were jointly handling.
Exactly. No, he's amazing.
And this amount of experience, he's amazing. And this amount of experience, I guess, I would not have got it in any other office.
Very true. Very true. Lucky enough to have that office. I may tell you that.
Yeah. And one more thing, the style of his arguing the matter, of not reading and going to argue, that will give you a more responsibility. That not only 100%, you have to be 200% sure. You have to be 200% prepared in your matter on the facts and on the law. And that is the amount of experience which I have taken in 10 years for helping me now.
Right, sir.
And then one more thing, just one thing.
Yes. Please tell me.
He said that and one more thing. Yes. He always used to tell me that don't follow my practice, what I do. Follow what you do. Meaning thereby, if you have the habit of reading the matter, you should do it.
Right.
And being an advocate on record, you must read the matter. He always used to tell it on the lighter way that when he was a junior, he never read the matter. That's a different thing. But he always used to tell me that reading the matter 100%, irrespective of the fact that whether a page is relevant or not. Right. That is immaterial. You have to be ready. You have to read each and every page. So that is what the advice he always used to give me.
Very true. No, he must have read a lot during his junior age, because one cannot be designated senior without having such.
At the age of 39.
At the age of.
Last section at the age of 39. And more so when you used to tell me that read your matter, prepare your matter, but always keep one thing also in your mind, that know your judge first.
Right. Yeah. Very true.
So that is also an experience which he has cultivated and that he has given to his juniors.
Right. Sir, what was your first independent appearance before the court? How did you appear, and what was your feeling then? Your first matter, it could be a matter of Yatin Bhai's office or your own matter, but when you actually stood alone before the court.
Yes. When I joined the Yatin Bhai's office in 2005, Yatin Bhai has given all the freedoms to all the juniors that you can accept your independent brief. So my father, since he was practicing lawyer at Anand, he had sent me first matter. That was a caution. And I filed it and I appeared before Justice Jayant Patel. I still remember that. Justice Jayant Patel was known to be a very negative judge on caution side. I appeared. The court issued notice and granted me the relief. But that experience of appearing first time before the court. I was fumbling like anything. I could not get the sleep last night. Every time the matter was running in my mind. With what sentence I will start? What will I tell the court? How do I begin the matter? And the matter was, of course, since it's a fresh matter, it was listed at serial number 2 or 3. So that fear of going in the court, being a raw junior, having almost, I would tell you about 2-3 દિવસનો કદાચ મને એક્સપિરિયન્સ હશે કોર્ટનો. મેન્શનિંગ એ વખતે કરતો હતો અને એ વખતે પપ્પાએ પહેલી મેટર મોકલી હતી and I argued the matter. So that experience is something which is unforgettable.
When have you become actually independent out of the shelter of Yatin Bhai completely?
You must be knowing about the litigation of Yatin Bhai's defamation case.
Right.
It started in 2014. Eventually, everything got settled in 2016, early 2015. I was quite, reluctant to tell him that I want to get independent when his personal matter was pending. Though he must have got the hint that now Apurva wants to become independent. I told him that I bought the office in 2014. Then I told him that after the litigation was over, that I want to become independent in 2015. He said that wait for a few months and then in 2016 you can become independent. I followed his advice. Everything got settled peacefully. And in early 2016, I got independent. I started my office on 1st March 2016. My independent office. And since then I'm independent.
How difficult it was? How was that transitional period from sheltered office to independent office?
It's really difficult. I'll tell you why. When you are in the office of a senior, there will be so many advocates on record. Particularly with Yatin Bhai's office. When I joined the office, there were almost around 7 to 8 advocates, out of which the 4 advocates were really senior. I mean, they were having the practice of more than 10 years, or like 10 years. Even if you have been given an independent chamber, you always have a liberty to go to the chamber of any other advocate where the clients are there. You can always learn from that. You can always read those matters which have been filed by the other seniors in the office of Yatin Bhai. We always had the advantage that whoever the senior were, they always used to give us the matters. That read this matter, we are going to argue tomorrow this matter, you prepare it, you also sit along with me besides Yatin Bhai. That you can also know that what is happening in the court. So by that time, whenever I had a chance in the Yatin Bhai's office in early 3-4 years, I always used to sit with the other advocates whenever there were no clients with me. Of course, whenever I had the clients, I used to entertain them. That after 2011-12, when I got somewhat senior in Yatin Bhai's office, having a 7 years, 8 years practice, and then the juniors who were there to be, they used to come and sit in my chamber. So this is the practice which we had followed in Yatin Bhai's office. Now that practice we are missing in, at least after getting independent, that we are missing. Now, of course, having a junior is one part of it, but then flawlessly you are giving some work to the junior and doing it on your own completely. That is the big task that I'm facing. And of course, initial days were really tough. Yatin Bhai was always there to look after me. So, these are the things after becoming independent. I don't say that there were any, there were a period where I used to get frustrated or I used to get nervous. Fortunately, that stage has not come. But I always felt the absence of Yatin Bhai and his office in my earlier days. Of course, nowadays also it is there. But gradually, you tend to be busy. And then that feeling, gets lesser.
Right.
But initial days of leaving the office of Yatin Bhai and starting my own office was a really tough task. Starting the office, managing all the expenses, which I never which we never had when I was in the office. So this was the additional burden, plus the burden of paying the installment of the offices. So these are the things always used to run in my mind. So it was really a tough task initially for becoming independent and starting the career.
Apurva bhai, do you recollect any specific matter which has transformed your career, which has made a change in your career?
Picking up one matter is giving injustice to all the matters which I have till now I've been argued. But there are many such cases with the blessings of Yatin Bhai, where in the earlier days in 2007 and 8, there was a famous case of a Chhatrala Hotel Group, Private Limited. Chhatrala Hotel Group was a company who had entered into an MOU in 2005 with the state government for setting up the project of a 5-star hotel in Surat. After entering into the MOU, the state has backed out. State refused to allot the land. So that the litigation has started in 2008. It was a project of 500 crores in 2005. Of course, the litigation started in 2008. Yatin Bhai gave me that matter. And he said that you prepare a writ petition and file it in the High Court. That writ petition went on for 2 years. Started in the various courts, of course, argued before the various courts. I worked like anything. The courts have also experienced that even not only Yatin Bhai, even the juniors are also putting a lot of efforts. At that point of time, I distinctly recollect the bench was sitting of Justice Radhakrishnan and Justice Qureshi. Justice Qureshi praised me that a young lawyer has really prepared the matter very well. So that was the first comment which I've got it from the bench. And then one more matter which I am distinctly recollect. It was before Justice Tripathi. I argued the matter. Of course, it was a very small matter. But then he said that, gentlemen, I'm really happy that a young lawyer are also preparing a matter and going very deeply into it. And he asked me one question, that from which college you have been passed in. I said ILS. Then he smiled and he just said nothing. I don't know what was the reason for asking me the question, that from which college I passed in. And there are many other matters. Of course, the one matter which you and me both were handling in the Supreme Court of Kakadia matter, that has also given me a huge mileage in the High Court. And, my encounter with that client, and from that client, I used to get the matters, was also a huge factor in my professional life. And more so when I just became independent at that point of time.
Gotcha. So other than Yatin Bhai, do you consider anyone to be your idol or a mentor other than Yatin Bhai? Because now we know Yatin Bhai has to be your idol or a mentor in all cases. But other than you want to,
it is really injustice. It is really injustice to pick one name. There are many advocates, which are coming in my mind. If I tell you about one name, if you ask me one name, that is coming in my mind is Shalin Mehta. Shalin Mehta is one advocate, senior advocate, from whom I have learned many things. Whenever I briefed him, there is a complete change which I have seen him. In the sense that whenever I used to brief him, there were always used to new questions. Every new matter, every new questions. New style of putting a question to me. So that is one thing which I admire about Mr. Shalin Mehta. I'm so thankful to him that I've learned many things from him. Despite being a senior, reading everything, preparing everything. And even if I'm not ready, he used to send me the message that these are the citations, you must take it. So this is one name. And the second name which is coming in my mind is of Mr. Mihir Joshi. Of course, I have briefed in many less matters. But whenever I have opposed him, I have always been on my guards. And that is what I have learned from him, that whenever Mr. Joshi is appearing against you, you will have to be more than 100% ready on everything. So these are the two names. Of course, there are many other names. Mr. Thakur, I believe it. There are many names.
Right.
I have almost briefed every senior advocate of our court. Right. But these are the two names which are upfrontly coming in my mind.
Right. Sir, now again, a question is, other than Yatin Bhai, you would like to attribute your success to? It could be your family members and even your clients or any other person whom you like to attribute your success to. Other than Yatin Bhai.
Apart from other than Yatin Bhai, I would other than Yatin Bhai, the first name which is coming in my mind is my brother's name, Devesh. It is because of him I'm in this profession.
Right.
It is because of him I had pursued this career.
Right.
And clients, I don't think giving a complete credit to the clients, complete credit or rather some giving credits, it is injustice to all the clients if I give some name. But the first name which is coming in my mind is of my brother Devesh.
Right.
And of course my father, who has pushed me in the profession by sending me the matters.
Right.
The one more name I would be failing my duty if I don't name it. A lawyer practicing in Rajpipla Court, Bankim Parikh. He's a very senior advocate there. My meeting with him was, I had one matter which I went to argue before the Rajpipla Court. It was anticipatory bail. He saw me arguing there in 2006, early 2006. And then he was also waiting for this matter. After finishing the matters, he called me. We had a cup of tea in his chambers. And then he said that, Apurva, now henceforth, at least briefing of mine, at least will come to you.
Right.
And he was the first advocate, apart from my father and his circle advocates. He started sending me the matters. And from them, at least I have got, from 2006, now there are many advocates from Rajpipla who are sending me the matters. So if I would be failing in my duty, if I don't name it, and the Bankim Parikh advocate, he has, I owe him, so much in this profession and pushing me in this profession like anything.
Right. Great, sir. Thanks to Bankim Bhai as well. Sir, how do you prepare a matter? What is the process that you undertake to prepare a raw matter that comes to you?
Yes. Generally, my practice, which I have carried from Yatin Bhai's office and the other seniors of the other lawyers of the Yatin Bhai's office, is that always first listen to the client. What is his problem? Don't jump into any conclusion by reading the papers. First, ask him, what is his problem? Don't expect that he be flawlessly briefing you like a lawyer briefs you. Always you should first listen him, that what is his side of story, and then try to explain him that what is the story of the other side, and then come to a conclusion. Reading the matters, obviously a lawyer would definitely come to a somewhat conclusion that this is what the case of his client would be. But I have followed the practice that whenever a client used to visit the office, first patiently hear him. Let him tell the problem, what he or she is facing. So that whatever burst is there in the inside of the client, he would be able to tell you.
Right.
Don't cut him. Don't cut him that you don't have a case, or rather you have a wonderful case. But first, listen to him, and that is the habit which I have cultivated, and I'm still following it from the client. And then, after going through the papers, we accordingly advise him. So,
sorry.
Yes, please go ahead.
No,
please I have also learned that nowadays clients are also Googling. So they are also used to coming with the recent citations.
Right.
So that I also encountered. But that also I have to patiently hear them.
Very true.
Then I should tell it, no, that you should tell him that, see, Googling of and getting some matters and the result is one part of it. But the correct thing is whether that analogy is to be applied or not, is to be making him understand that it is not in every matter that will apply.
Right.
Some judgment of the Supreme Court, some judgment of the High Court has said something. Whether it fits in your case or not, that is the duty of a lawyer.
Right.
If it is that easy, he could have easily gone to the court and taken the justice in his mind. So these are the difficult problems which nowadays you and me both are facing.
Very true. Very true.
So making him understand that whatever you have learned from Googling it, yes, I don't say that it's a risky, but it's also not a complete proposition.
Right. So, Apurva, તમારી બીજી શું hobbies છે? What are your other hobbies or રુચિ તમારી બીજી શું છે?
Honestly speaking, તમને કહું જો, till I was in college, I used to play a cricket like a hell. I was in the in the team of the college till last year. I played many matches of the hostel as well as colleges. But after joining the office of Yatin Bhai, that hobby has completely gone. Now the only hobby is watching the cricket. That's it. Right. Of course, I used to, there's still a hobby, I would say, that reading the music, listening to music, that I've still continued. And the movies I'm still a diehard fan of the movies.
Right.
But now, since last 10 years, from 2011, the first kid was born. Even that has also gone. Because after coming home, generally I don't watch that much TV. I always used to give time to the kids. So that is what habit I've cultivated. And I really, would like to go ahead with that habit. Or rather, I would consider it to be my hobby now. To see the upbringing of my kids. Because this period is not going to come again.
Very true.
And this last 22 days, staying with my kids, and more particularly with my younger daughter, who is 1.5, Purish bhai, an experience which I'm not going to get for the rest of my life. This experience of playing with her and cuddling with her is something which is really unique. And I'm really thankful to the God for giving me such a wonderful day.
Right, sir. Apurva bhai, તમને ક્વેશ્ચન ઇઝ કે તમને કેવું શું લાગે છે કે આપણને જે આ 22-25 હવે 40 દિવસનો ટાઈમ મળ્યો છે પોતાની જાતને ઓળખવાનો અને નવી વસ્તુઓ ઓનલાઈન સમજવાનો, શું ચેન્જીસ તમે શું ચેન્જીસ એક્સપેક્ટ કરો છો લીગલ ફ્રેટર્નિટીમાં આ લોકડાઉન પીરિયડ પછી?
લોકડાઉન પીરિયડ પછી હવે જો એક વસ્તુ ખરેખર જે થઈ શકે છે ને, એ વી હેવ ટુ બી પ્રિપેર્ડ ફોર video conferencing, arguing the matters, and setting up your complete office at home. That is the first requirement which we all advocate will have to be entertained. I don't know how lockdown ketlu chalse. All the steps are being taken by the governments and the courts so that a minimum damage has been done to the people. એટલે ખરેખર કહેવા જવું તો જે આ 21 દિવસ અને જે બીજા હવેના 19 દિવસ એમાં જે કોર્ટ્સના જે વેલ્યુએબલ આર્સ જે બગડ્યા છે, because we were not prepared for arguing the matters through video conferencing. It is still being difficult to argue it. એના માટે હવે આપણે જ્યારથી કોર્ટ નોર્મલી રૂટીન ફંક્શન કરશે એના માટે આપણે તૈયાર રહેવું પડશે. ક્યારે પણ આવો ભવિષ્યમાં ભગવાન ક્યારે પ્રસંગ ના આવે, પણ કદાચ પ્રસંગ બી આવશે તો હવે we cannot afford to waste even a one day of the court. We will have to be 100% ready that whatever the situation comes up, the courts and we both will have to be ready for it.
Right. એક મિનિટ.
હા.
સોરી અપૂર્વભાઈ, કંઈક બેટરી નો ઇશ્યુઝ હતો. એનીવેઝ અપૂર્વભાઈ, થેન્ક યુ. ખૂબ મજા આવી આપની સાથે વાત કરીને. એક ક્વેશ્ચન.
હા, મારા એક્સપિરિયન્સ પણ હા.
વાળ ક્યાં કપાવે?
શું વાળ ક્યાં કપાવ્યા? હવે પિયુષભાઈ, જે સાચું છે ને તમને કહી રહ્યો છું. આજે સવારે અમારા જે ફ્લેટમાં રહીએ છીએ ત્યાંથી એક જણાનો ફોન આવ્યો કે ભાઈ વાળ ખૂબ જ વધી ગયા છે, બહુ જ કંટાળો આવી રહ્યો છે. એની પાસે એક બાર્બરનો નંબર છે, મેં 5 જણા આપીશું તો એ આવવા તૈયાર થશે. સો ધેટ ઇઝ હાઉ વી કોલ્ડ હિમ. સોરી ટુ સે ધેટ અમે પાર્કિંગમાં બેઠા. એને પહેલા કમ્પ્લીટલી સેનિટાઈઝ કર્યો. ચેર પર અમે સોસાયટીની ચેર પર બેઠા અને પ્લગ કનેક્ટ કરી અને ઇવેન્ચ્યુઅલી મેં 5 જણાથી શરૂઆત કરી, પણ એ લાઈન વધતી ગઈ અને ઇવેન્ચ્યુઅલી કદાચ મારા ખ્યાલથી 2:30 વાગે સોસાયટીમાંથી પાછો ગયો છે. But we have maintained a social distancing in that.
Lucky enough to have at least someone. પાછળ કે હું શું કહું?
દિલ્હીમાં પોસિબલ નથી, આપણે ગુજરાતમાં જ પોસિબલ છે અને અમદાવાદમાં જ પોસિબલ છે.
પોસિબલ નથી. ચલો અપૂર્વભાઈ, થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ. થેન્ક યુ
પુરીશભાઈ, થેન્ક યુ સો મચ. ઇટ્સ અ રિયલી વન્ડરફુલ એક્સપિરિયન્સ. આઈ હોપ કે હું ફરીથી તમારો ઇન્ટરવ્યુ ક્યારેક આ રીતે કરી શકીશ.
અરે